Hey, welcome back, guys, to the channel. Today we're going to do the 10 questions for homesteaders challenge, and we're getting started right now. So, hey guys, welcome back. We're going to do the 10 questions for homesteaders challenge that I seen on Ashley over at Mulberry Branch Farm. Did it a few days ago, and she said to tag yourself if you wanted to do it, so I decided I would do it. So let's get started. First question is, do you homestead full-time or do you have a day job? I don't full-time homestead. I have a day job. I'm a police officer. I have been for about 25 years now. So that's my day job. My wife actually works for the court system here in Pennsylvania, where we live. So we both have full-time jobs outside of the homestead. My dream would be to farm and homestead full-time, as I'm sure it's everybody's, but it's just not financially feasible at the present time. So that's the answer to question number one. Question number two is, what was the first livestock animal you added to your homestead? The first livestock animal that we had was horses. That's what we started out with. I currently live on my family's property that I grew up on, but when we initially were married, we lived in another place, and we only had about 7 acres there. And the first animal that we purchased was a horse, which I still have. Charlie, I've actually profiled him in some other videos. So he's about, I think he's about 24 years old now, but we still do have him. So that was my first animal. What is your favorite way to eat eggs for breakfast? I would say pretty much any way. I love eggs. I'll eat them just about any way. I'm partial to sunny side up, though, I would say. What is your current or how big is your current homestead, and how big would you like it to be? Well, it's almost too big for me to manage right now. This farm consists of about 160 acres. 12 and a half acres of it I own completely, me and my wife. The other is family property, which I have control over, and I'm the only one who uses it. So right now, I don't anticipate wanting more property. I have plenty. So yeah, 160 acres right now is currently what I'm farming, and that's a lot to take care of for one person, especially when you work in a full-time job. So that's the question to number 4. Number 5 is, what are some homesteading skills you want to learn in the next few years? That's a tough one. I've been farming and doing this kind of lifestyle, my whole life. My grandfather was a full-time dairy farmer. My dad was a full-time dairy farmer until the dairy industry kind of dried up around here, and we sold the cows, and he went to work off the farm. So as far as skills go, I would say probably raising chickens, because that's something I don't have. I know most people, that's the first animal they get, and that's the gateway drug animal. But I don't currently have any chickens. I certainly do want them. It's just a matter of setup and some other things that come up, trying to get that started. So I guess the skill that I'd want to learn is taking care of chickens. What are your thoughts on fake meat? My thoughts on fake meat are, if that's what you want to eat, then this is the United States of America. Eat whatever you want. I don't really understand why, if you have an aversion to meat, why you need to take vegetables and turn them into something that looks like meat. It seems to be kind of crazy, but that's just me. I'm going to keep eating meat. If you want to eat vegetables that are smashed up to look like meat, so be it. If there's a market out there, somebody will make it for you. So that's my thoughts on it. I think it's crazy, but to each his own. What does your dream homestead look like? I'd say pretty much what I have now. I can't really dream for too much more. There's a lot of things here I'd like to have in terms of like facilities, maybe some more outbuildings or that kind of stuff. But what I really need badly is fencing. A lot of this farm was fenced, and back in 1940. When my grandfather purchased this property, he had the entire place fenced at that time. So a lot of the fences are that old. They're just in disrepair right now, and they totally need redone. And that's kind of what I'm doing there. What I'd like it to look like. I'd like to have all of my fields fenced so that I had opportunity to graze animals anywhere I wanted. So if I had my ideal homestead, that's what it would be this place, but totally fenced, where I could graze animals. Number 8, what is your least favorite thing to do on the homestead? I don't really. The only thing I could think of that's be my least favorite would probably be shoveling manure out of the barn. I guess that's probably my least favorite chore on the homestead. Nothing else really comes to mind that I really hate. So I'd have to say that would be my least favorite chore, would be cleaning the barn. Number 9, what is one piece of advice you would give to your past self? I think the one piece of advice I would give to my past self is when I was in high school and graduated high school, we had since before that sold our dairy herd, but I actually worked for a dairy farm that was close here, and I wish that I had pursued that more. I enjoyed being a cop. It's been a rewarding career. It's been frustrating career too. But the current situation that goes on in the world today, I'll be glad to get out of that profession. And I had an opportunity to buy into the dairy farm that I worked for, and I chose not to, and I wanted to pursue a career in law enforcement, so I did that. Looking back on it, I kind of wish that I had went that way, and then I could have, stayed on the farm per se, working there, working here. So I wish I could do this full time. I think I would probably have told my past self to stick with farming, and that's what I would have done if I was to talk to my past self. What is one animal you will never raise on the homestead, and why? I had to think about this one. I remember my grandmother had guineas, and I think I probably hated that bird more than anything. They never shut up. They're just constantly. The ones she had were just constantly screaming. I mean, you could barely sit out on the porch for them screaming and yelling all the time. So I think if I had to pick one animal that I would refuse to bring on, traditional livestock animal, it would definitely be probably guineas, just from my past experience with them. So, all right, that wraps up the 10 questions for homesteaders. So I am going to challenge Daniel from Copperhead Road Homestead to answer these 10 questions, and I'm going to tag him in this video. I'll put a link to his channel down in the description. If you guys haven't went over to his channel and checked him out yet, or his Facebook group under the same name, Copperhead Road Homestead, please do. He uploads something every day. Guy is just full of a lot of knowledge. I mean, just about different plants that I never even really thought about. So yeah, if you haven't checked his channel out, go over there and do that. Like I said, I'll leave a link down in the description for him. I'm gonna challenge him to answer these 10 questions for homesteaders. So Okay, yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope that this was interesting for you to hear my answers to the 10 questions. And until I see you guys on the next video, I hope that you're staying happy, safe, and healthy, and have a blessed day.